Gavel's close to you. You want to hit it? No. This meeting is called to order. The Board of Trustees of Hinckley Township, August 17th, 2021 at 6:31 p.m. I'd like to have roll call, please.
Kalina?
Here.
Augustine? Here. Burns?
Here. And if everyone would join us, we can salute the flag. Thank you.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you, everybody, for coming. We have 6 people in the audience, and I'm going to read this on your behalf, or on our behalf. So on behalf of our virtual audience, they have had problems hearing those in the public when they want to speak, so we're asking the public to join us by approaching the podium at the event that they're at. And if they'd like to speak, they'll need to announce their name and their address so that we can get that on the record. And we'd like to save your personal conversations back there till time for you to speak, because it actually, the sound really hurts it for those people that are attending virtually. For those of you attending virtually tonight, we are trying something different tonight. I've turned off the ceiling microphones to see if that doesn't help the acoustics better. And with that, I'd like to start this meeting. Any other commentary on that?
No,
Okay.
we'll
Thank
see
you.
if this works better. We have our microphones.
I would like to get some
Windows are
feedback
closed.
from those of you in the audience that have heard it with and without the ceiling microphones. I'd like some feedback, maybe in an email sometime in the future if you can. Thank you.
Thank you.
I'd like to make a motion to approve the minutes for the special meeting on July 27th, 2021 and the August 3rd, 2021 regular meeting.
So moved.
Moved by Kalina. Seconded.
Who's second?
I made the motion.
Oh, then I'll second.
I was waiting.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye. That's unanimous. Minutes are approved. We'll sign those and then get them to Martha so she can get them on
I do
file.
have one thing repeating.
That's fine. Do we have any special guests, trustees?
No.
No?
Just
All right, let's move on to the police department then.
Chief Sutner is not with us tonight, but he asked that I'd like to make a motion to ARC e-blueprint for a total of $72.20 for the blueprints for the current police station to be created into an electronic print for Labella to utilize when they are looking at the addition.
Can you spell that RE Blueprints, please?
ARC, capital E, blue, the color blue,
Got it.
print.
Thank you.
And the total is $72.20.
Do we hear a second? I'll second it.
Thank you.
Any further discussion, trustees?
No.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye. That motion is
And that's
passed.
all I have for police. Thank you.
Thank you. Fire Department, Chief Grosenbaugh.
Good evening.
Good evening.
So I have a couple things on here and then a couple things last minute. First is request appropriations for $429.99 from Amazon for a floor polisher and the scrubbing pads and attachments. Typically, we have to try and rent one from Home Depot to clean it, and it's $50 to $60 at a time. We try and do it twice a year, which we haven't done it last year or this year. So I'd like to just finally break down and buy one. This one actually comes with a carpet scrubbing attachment too, so we'll be able to scrub the carpets in the training room as well. And if we need to use it here and everything else, but we have the floor coming into the station and the through the cruise quarters and the watch office. So I'd like to break down and buy one so we can do it twice a year at least, and then buff it and wax it like we do. I'd like to get it done before touch truck as well.
So moved.
I'll second. And is that one of the wire?
Yeah, it's 13 inches. It's not a big one. It's a smaller one. We're not doing large areas. Mostly it's just going to be the hallways and corridors and the living area, which won't be that bad. But yeah, it's a commercial. Good reviews on Amazon. Did some research on it. So it had like 4.5 stars or something like that.
I've used those before.
Yeah.
They can bite you.
Yeah. Oh yeah. I worked in a rental store and we had the 13 or the big 24-inch or whatever they were.
Right.
Oh yeah. They
That's
can
the
take
one
you for
I've
a
done
trip.
before. It will take you for a ride. Yeah.
Take you for a ride.
Make sure we don't want to. No, I'm just making sure we don't get a workers.
Yeah. Workers' comp claim, dents in the walls, holes in the wall. We don't want that. Yeah.
Cause for a demerit.
Yeah, exactly.
All right, if there's no further discussion, all in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye, that is unanimous. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Next is request appropriations for 2 mounting brackets at $115 a piece for a total of $213 for the Genesis rescue systems. We were awarded that grant for the hydraulic tools. They're supposed to be in any week now. So these will allow us to put the tools onto the engine. They actually the current mounting system that we have for the tools we have actually unbolts, and these new ones go in because the spreaders and cutter tips are different. So, and once I get them delivered here, the actual tools themselves, I'll have all the information for you guys to formally accept it from the Firehouse Subs, which was almost a $26,000 grant.
Great.
That we were awarded this year.
Great work.
Thank you.
Thank you.
So moved.
Second?
Moved and seconded, Augustine and Kleiner respectively. Any further discussion, trustees?
No.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
That's unanimous. Motion's passed.
Next is there's a typo. Request for appropriations for $6,019.65 through W.W. Williams to repair engine 31. It's the old one. It's our backup engine that's in the station. It's got what you would expect for being a 16-year-old truck with the water that we have and the use. Gauges are leaking, plumbing's leaking. So we got to get some of this stuff, and some of the piping is rusting because being 16 years old. So it's still a solid truck to use. We're still looking on the direction we're going to go with it, but it is our backup engine for when our other engine has to get maintenance, or if we are on 2 calls, we can have 2 engines available for us.
Very good.
Looks like most of the repair operations are not to like the engine of the machine.
No, it's all the pump. And the pump stuff all has to be certified through NFPA requirements. We are doing some of the stuff with Dave Brodowski, the chief engineer. He is doing some other things that are not on there himself to save costs, and simple things we can do. Air filters. He's got to put a gasket in there, and some of the lighting stuff he can actually look at and diagnose.
Great.
So moved.
Moved by Augustine,
Second?
seconded by Kleiner. Any further discussions, trustees? No? All in favor, say aye.
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 That's unanimous. Thank you.
Next is request leave of absence for Will Hetzel until November 1st, 2021. His wife is expecting this month, and she is high risk. He also just took a job in Ashland full time. He thought he was only going to need a month off, but because the baby coming and being high risk, he's going to want to be home, and I understand that. So he says he's planning on being back towards the end of October, but he'll let us know. And once I know, I'll present it back to you guys.
Perfect. So moved.
Second?
Moved and seconded by Augustine and Kleiner respectively. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Tell him best of luck and take as much time as you
Yep,
need.
yeah, absolutely. My son was high risk and was a premature, and now he's 6th grade. So the one item on here is the command car discussions. We talked 2 months ago, the SUV that the police department had given us had died or needs serious work. I've been talking with Mike from the service department about trying to look at two vehicles at one time to hopefully get a price break. As most probably know, there's vehicle shortage because of computer chips and all that.
Yeah.
So I've been going out, trying to get quotes and timelines and stuff like that. So I called Tim Lally, gave me a quote for a 2022 Silverado. It was $31,499, and it was a minimum 4 to 6 months out. And it met our requirements of red with the cab size, the bed size, 4-wheel drive. It was a work truck. That's all it was a work truck.
Open bed.
Open bed. Yeah. We want to put a cap on it and pull out to make it be able to be a command.
Crew cab.
Yeah. The Ford. Yep. Valley Ford, I reached out. They said, yeah, we have a white one. This is what we have, $46,000. I'm like, that's way not in my range. Medina Auto Mall had the GMC 1500. I don't know what is that, Sierra? I think it is. They had it on their lot for like 8 hours and was gone. I then called them back twice, and they never returned any phone calls about even trying to order one or anything else like that. Serpentini in Talmadge had a 2018 Colorado that had 11,000 miles, 12,000 miles on it. That was 31,400. Again, I talked to them once, and text messages, emails, phone calls, nothing. No,
That was a
no.
Colorado.
That was a Colorado. I actually wanted a Colorado
Oh, okay.
because it's smaller.
Right.
It's more economical for us. But usually the Colorados are more money than the Colorado or the Silverados. But I wanted a smaller pickup truck. We don't need a big one for the command vehicle. So yesterday, Serpentini in Medina had a 2021 Colorado that I got a quote for. It's a work truck. It's a 4-door full-size cab with the 5.5-foot bed on it, 4-wheel drive work truck. They gave me a quote for $30,445 for it. So $1,000+ cheaper than the Silverado that originally was, and it's in stock. It has 3 miles on it.
What color?
It's a dark red, similar to the newest fire engine we got. So it'll match that. I called them today and sent them pictures about trade-in for the SUV. They offered they would take it to, basically, they don't sell it on their lot. It's going to go into office. They offered us $11,000 for it with pictures and what was wrong with it
For the current.
for the current command car on that. So we'd be getting it for, in essence, around $20,000 for it. And let me do the math really quick here. Should have had this, I'm sorry.
And this truck is on the lot?
Yes, it is on the lot. They said they would hold it till tonight to see what you guys voted on, and if not, no big deal. They worked with government before, but they total with the trade-in would be $19,445 for a brand new command car. As I said, the command car is key for the fire department function because I drive it home and it allows me to come in a responsible time to backfill to assist the guys. And we've had several calls now that was me getting to the station to get either the pickup truck to respond or drive directly. I was delayed in getting them to the scene quicker. We'd be looking to put a cap on it and the pull-out bed on it, and I would get quotes on that and graphic. We already stripped all the lights off. Gus and Anthony already stripped all the lights off. Gus is able to do the wiring. He's done wiring. He did his truck. He did a couple other personal trucks with lights and all that. So he would be able to do the install on our lights. The radio, we have to have the radio installers do because they got to put the antenna up and all that.
Right.
But I would like to move forward on purchasing this truck, obviously with the board's blessing. Do you guys have any questions?
I have a comment, and then we'll
Sure.
talk about this a little bit with you and the board. The Lally Ford truck is only $1,000 more. That's bigger bed.
No, it's 5.5.
The Lally.
Oh, the
Ford?
Tim Lally?
Yeah.
Yeah, it was. I was going with a 6-foot because I wanted a shorter bed.
I'm just why. Yeah, I know you were looking for that. Oh, so that was the Lally Ford's a 6-foot bed.
Yes.
So the half foot difference. I was looking at the functionality of the truck for unforeseen. I wish I had another 6 inches. I wish I had another foot, whatever. And having that short bed means 5.5 feet. That's it. And it's going to hang out over the tailgate.
Yep. It has so if we got a trailer for the UTV, it would have the Colorado does have the pulling capacity to handle a trailer and the UTV if we do get the trailer for a UTV. If we do, but other than that, we're not expecting trailering or anything else like that.
So the only thing I'm concerned about
Sure.
is did you look at state bid pricing on Colorado?
When I talked to Tim Lally, the state bid pricing was actually more than the Silverado. They can't get.
For a Colorado?
Yes, the Colorados are typically more money.
Okay, well, what I'm saying is that the $30,445 for you to move forward tonight needs to be lower than the state bid price for the exact same vehicle.
Yeah.
Otherwise, you're going to have to get 3 quotes for the same vehicle.
I thought it was a $50,000. Anything above 50,000 needed quotes on it.
That is a mandate, but what I'm saying
Okay.
is for good governance,
Yeah.
you get
Okay.
quotations. So apples to apples.
Okay.
I'm going to guess that the Lally Ford truck is probably under state bid. I don't know about that command car though. The Colorado, excuse me. But again, like Martha said, I think we need to know that they're a state bid or below the state bid.
Yeah, if it's below a state
Yeah.
bid price for the same vehicle, outfitted the same way, then you can move forward.
Okay.
Do you have access to that
Or
website?
you've got
I,
at least one
Want to
or
make a
two other
motion
quotes.
pending the state bid pricing?
can we do that?
Someone's
Or
gonna
do we
have
want
to
to
give
have
them
a
a
special meeting if it's a go?
Are you able to,
Martha, do
we
you
got a
know
computer
if
right here.
You're able to trade in a vehicle when you're purchasing through state bid?
No, you can't.
Well, we're talking about a dealer that has a state bid pricing.
Right.
And so, yes, you can. We do it with fire engines, we do it with the dump trucks, we do it with all those different vehicles. But though the Colorado he's identified they might not be a state bid vendor, what I am requesting is that that's either the same price as a state bid for the
Less.
same vehicle, or it is below the state bid price for a vehicle equipped in the year and the everything that
You guys want to work for a few minutes while we continue on with the meeting?
Yes.
Well, I was thinking the same thing, Martha. What's the state bid price going to be on that particular vehicle? If that vehicle is even bid, I don't know. I don't know if they have a bid on
Yeah,
Colorado or if they just do Silverados.
yeah, that's the question. If something isn't on state bid, then you do have to
Because I know you got one.
get
I
multiple.
didn't have a Ranger.
Like when Chief Sentner buys his replacement vehicles, he does it through Lally usually, or, what's the other place out there? But those are all state bid pricing. So
Right.
they align
Which
themselves
Lally
with state bid
was.
pricing
Right,
in order
it's a
to
different model.
expedite a purchase and delivery of the
Right.
vehicles.
Right.
You could, go and call Serpentini.
I will. When we get through my section, I'll give them
Yeah.
a call and see what I can get from them. They close at 9 today, so. Nope, they closed already.
So you don't have to worry about them holding the car for you.
No, they actually said they'll do it until Thursdays when they'll
So
let
you
you
got a
know.
couple
So
days.
I'll call them tomorrow and,
And then if we have to have a special meeting, we will.
okay.
It-
All right, I'll see what I can get on it tomorrow.
So did you go anywhere else where you saw that car, the same?
Yes, the one was the 2018 that was
That's
used.
not the same.
No.
Okay,
It's gotta be the car, just like you were pricing on an ambulance or an engine or anything like that.
okay.
What else do you have, Chief?
Request for appropriations to send Anthony McCarrick to the firefighter 2 transition course, starting September 7th and ends in December. I don't have the exact date for the state final. It's going to be held at Westfield Fire Department and at the Career Center for the practical days at a cost of $1,750. Anthony's been with us since he's been 14 as an explorer. He's starting medic school in January, so for the next year, he'll be tied up in medic school. This is also one of the ones in January when the state opens their grant for schooling. We can get some part of it reimbursed. I have, if anybody wants to know, this firefighter 2 transition course is to bring up this firefighter to the top level in state certification course. So there's I have the whole syllabus here if anybody has any questions, but it starts including stuff on fire alarm and alarm detection systems, suppression systems. He's going to have more auto extrication, more advanced fire attack training. There's some size up classes, phone operations. It covers a large slew, but it brings him to the firefighter 2 level for the state of Ohio, which is the top level for that.
Right. So he does not have his.
He only has his fire 1. Yep.
Fire one.
Yep.
So moved.
Second.
Moved and seconded. Any further discussion?
Your vendor.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
That's unanimous. Motion's passed.
Thank you. The only couple items I have left are the touch truck is September 26th. We are working on getting more trucks and more. There will have a barbecue truck, food truck there, and an ice truck. This Sunday is Fill the Squad, which all benefits the Hinckley Elementary School. We've already had some school supplies dropped off the stations from 2 to 5. And then on the 24th, right, is the charity softball between us and the police department, fire department versus police department. We're taking donations, and it'll help each of our associations, and we will also be dividing the money a third way to go to the Tunnel to Tower Foundation, which helps severely injured and wounded servicemen and first responders.
Will there be refreshments?
There will be refreshments. I don't have all the details on that yet.
I'll be happy to be that employee working refreshments for you.
Very good.
If you need it.
I know we have an ice truck there,
Yes.
Kona ice truck, and I'm not sure, I don't know what else will be.
Bruised egos or what?
I do not know what else. Yes, there will be some bruised eagles that night. Yeah, so we're still working on
Is the
it.
service department getting involved?
Yeah, we were talking to him. We're negotiating some things right now.
Okay, 'cause we need umpires and
No,
some
we-
more keepers, or there's something else in the
He's-
works?
yes, there's something else in the
I know
works.
he's going to the highest bidder.
We're neighbors. We're neighbors. 7 p.m. is the softball game. It'll be up at Kovac Field under the new LED lights, right? The lights.
Sundown would probably be about 8:15 or so by then.
Yeah.
8
Yep.
o'clock.
So it should be a good time.
What is the date on that?
The 24th.
Of August?
No, September.
September, okay,
Yep.
that's what I was checking.
Yep. So Friday night
And then the touch a truck
is the Sunday. Yep.
Busy weekend.
Yep. And the association with my wife is working on a bunch of other great possible Halloween or a pumpkin carving contest in October. So we're looking into some other things.
Thank you so much.
Thank you. What'd you find out?
This is going to be your dealer that you want to call for state.
Anything else, chief?
No, nothing else right now. Thank you.
Jim Burns, before we go on, can I ask a favor? Can we take the
Please.
microphone that is near Melissa? I don't see Trustee Kalina having his own microphone. He's kind of hard to hear.
He does.
Can you move that microphone between you and Melissa? I believe that will help.
Kind of curious to see. Hey, Chris, talk right into that microphone.
Testing, 1, 2, 3.
Is that better?
Much better. Thank you.
I don't know which one. I don't know which microphone.
Well, this is the wired one, so who knows if it works as well.
Well, that's why.
as
Mute,
these
just for a
microphones
second,
do.
mute that one there that you just touched. Test again.
Okay, testing, 1, 2, 3.
He sounds wonderful.
Okay. Thank you. Thanks for the heads up.
I'll take that one back.
All right, sometimes we get involved in what we're doing here and don't think about our voice volume. Service Department, Mr. Pahari.
I only have one item really on the list tonight. And that's to request appropriations to purchase one new combi hedge trimmer attachment through Akron Tractor at a cost of $279.99. I looked up on Still's website. Still is also $279.99. ABC is also $279.99. I mean, it's a Still part. It's going to be, it is what it is. Matt over there at Akron Tractor has dealt with us, and we purchased actually all of our saws and everything through them, and he's actually a very good vendor to work with. So I'd appreciate if we can, stay with him. He does, he goes out of his way for us a lot of times when we need parts or chains or whatever we need for our saws.
So moved.
Second?
Moved and seconded. I just wanted to add, if anybody's ever weed whacked really tall weeds, weed whackers get bound up with the length of the weed. This thing's going to allow them to just slice through the weed, and it'll be a lot easier and a lot quicker for them. So it'll be an efficiency gain. It's been moved and seconded. Any further discussion? All in favor, say aye. Aye. Let's move. Thank you. Unanimous. Zoning Department.
Okay, we have a Mylar to sign. It's a lot consolidation that is on State Road, and so it's quite simple. The owner is combining two lots. They're non-conforming presently, and they want to accommodate a new accessory building. So with both lots being non-conforming, by combining the two lots, they will become a standard lot with 200 for the frontage and 3.48 acres of land. So this is pretty simple, so we can sign that at some point here after the meeting. And then we have another one that we'll talk about. So that is the plat consolidation for Rick Hudbudby.
Very good. Thank you.
Thank you. Anything else in the zoning department? No?
No, not much.
Then let's move on to.
We have other items that we'll talk about.
Your agenda item then, please.
Oh, we have cemeteries. You have
There's nothing in cemetery.
Okay, so we'll move into tactical planning. Mr. Smerigan has exhausted all of his funds, just letting the board and Martha know that, and saw those invoices and checks. So thank you, Martha. And while we're talking about that, I did get a question from a resident asking about where we're at with OHM. And I have contacted OHM regarding the comprehensive plan and told them at this point in time right now, I'd like to delay things while I'm investigating possible grant funding to be able to help pay for a large portion of this. So I don't think the township should rush into this when there's a possibility of receiving grant funds that could cover quite a bit of the expenses of that. So hopefully I'll have more at our next meeting.
Thank you.
Very good.
And we have a long-awaited approval of a temporary turnaround and bond for the reserve at Pine Valley. And so this evening, we're going to execute the agreement and also acknowledge the bond. And really, they've been very, very cooperative. This is the reserve of Pine Valley, which is next door to Mr. Studer happens to be here with us, and next door to Pine Valley Golf Course. And so this is a development that's slowly progressing forward. And they are, just to explain to the public what's happening with this, and this is something that Trustee Schulte had really originated in Medina County in 2019. When a developer puts a subdivision in, typically they put the subdivisions in several phases, and then they'll sell those phases, and then they'll move on to the next phase. Or sometimes, as in the case with the Reserve of Pine Valley, there might be a specific reason because they need certain approvals to continue moving into the next phase. And that's the situation that they have right now. So they're putting in the first phase of the subdivision. However, when they do that, they put in a temporary turnaround. That's so that people can pull in and turn around. But there's historically in Medina County, there hasn't been any assurance that that temporary turnaround is going to remain temporary. So in fear of something like we had in 2008, where perhaps a developer might not continue developing that property for a considerable amount of years. Of course, as the Hinckley residents move into that subdivision, they're probably not going to be real happy with that temporary turnaround existing there for years and years. So Trustee Schulte's idea with Redwood Falls was to allow the township to have an approval and a guarantee with a temporary turnaround that the township could go in, have an easement to remove that temporary turnaround, put in more of a permanent cul-de-sac, and have a bond that would cover the township's expense of putting that cul-de-sac in if the developer did not move into the next phase of the subdivision within a 3-year period of time. So Trustee Schulte had worked all those details out. It was a bit of a hunt and an investigation to do that research to figure out exactly what Ray had done back then. But he had done a great job putting that together. The county, in speaking with them, they were very complimentary to what Trustee Schulte had come up with because nobody had done that before. To provide that assurance, that guarantee to the township that we could take care of our residents if we needed to do that. So what we have this evening, I actually have Trustee Schulte's motion from 10/1 of 19 of what he read, except the names are changed, but the motion is exactly the same, and that is a motion to approve the temporary alternative T-type turnaround at the Reserve of Pine Valley Subdivision Phase 1 portion of the development, conditioned upon Medina County Engineers' approval, which they have done, of the proposed design and satisfactory security guarantee as outlined in the engineering code for subdivision developments, which they have provided. And not to extend 3 years beyond the agreement to and signature of the Medina County Engineer's Office. So I was authorized by the Board of Trustees at the prior meeting to continue moving forward with this. The board had already voted on that. So I have made that motion.
Second.
Thank you. Is there any other discussion with that?
Nope.
No, thank you for your work on it.
Okay, Martha?
Martha, should that be a resolution?
Probably.
Okay,
Yeah.
From the beginning.
from the
You don't
beginning.
have- Just
Just
change it
amend it
to
as a resolution.
Okay, I'll change that to a resolution to approve the temporary alternative turnaround at the Reserve at Pine Valley subdivision, phase one portion of the development, conditioned upon the Medina County engineer approval of the proposed design and satisfactory security guarantee as outlined in the engineering code for subdivision developments and not to extend 3 years beyond the agreement to and signature of the Medina County engineer's office. And actually, that will be also the signature of this board of trustees because we are signing that this evening.
And is seconded. And is there any further discussion? Let's have a roll call vote, please.
Kalina?
Yes.
Augustine?
Yes.
Yes.
And I did forward this agreement that's from Hinckley Land Holdings LLC to Matt Martin at the engineer's office, and he approved it. So he had no problems with anything that they've done. And like I said, they've been very, very cooperative with this. It took them quite a bit of time to secure the bond. And so I am going to, and Martha, are you able to witness this? Because this requires a witness, and then so we'll just.
Is it just a witness or does it need to be?
It says in
notarized?
witness whereof this agreement is executed this blank day of blank 2021. So there's
Yeah.
no, and the other one wasn't on the last one that Trustee Schulte did.
Okay.
All right, that's the whole agreement.
Done.
Goes to Martha for witness.
You have to witness that. Okay.
Now, at some point, this board, I don't remember what meeting it was, but at some point we had talked about increasing the bond to adjust for any potential increases in cost over that 3-year period of time. And they were in agreement with that. So what they did was they took the amount that TCG Engineering or TGC Engineering had come up with, which was around $41,000. They did it to 125% to cover any addition. And so the bond is from United Casualty and Surety Insurance Company for $51,795
Very good.
and 25 cents. And Martha, we are acknowledging the receipt of this bond. It is completely executed. And do we need to make a motion that we're in receipt of this or just hand it down to you along with that document?
I mean, it's in here. It's a condition of this.
Right.
So
And
no,
here it is.
it's just a bond.
Stamp, signed, stamp, sealed.
$51,000.
Right.
If it's needed.
Right. If it's needed. And I would not expect that we would need that, but we have it. And,
Very
you
good.
know, and they'll, you know, and once they move forward, then then the bond's just released.
Right.
Thank you,
At that
Mr. Kalina.
So thank you. And, thank you, Trustee Schulte, for paving the way on doing those in Medina County. I know you're listening and hopefully excited we're continuing that on behalf of our residents. I'm sure you are. And on that same note, we have Phase 1A for the Reserve of Pine Valley that will also be signed this evening.
Okay.
We did not do this at the last meeting because this had to be approved by the County Planning Commission, which it was. And it also was reviewed and approved by our Zoning Commission, which it was. And I reviewed this. Tom Wilson, our zoning inspector, looked at every single lot. Nothing was changed. The acreage, the square footage was exactly the same on every single lot
Great.
from what was originally approved. So I feel confident with the approval and signing off on this when we're finished for the Reserve at Pine Valley Phase 1A. And moving into the Zoning Commission, we do have to set a public hearing because we did receive just recently from Matt Marzullo, Chair of the Zoning Commission, the text amendment proposals that was approved unanimously by the Zoning Commission. And per 519.12, we have a limited amount of time in which to hold our public hearing, which is 30 days. If we go to our next meeting, that would be 21 days to September 7th. If we waited until September 21st, we're 35 days, and that does not work. So my proposal to the board would be to hold a public hearing on September 7th at 6 p.m.
Agreed.
Absolutely.
Okay.
We pass it on to Ms. Peterlin so she can get it.
So you need to make a motion to do that.
So I will make a motion to hold a public hearing on September 7th at 6 p.m. to consider the text amendments provided by the Hinckley Township Zoning Commission. Martha, do you want me to address what those are covering as well?
Nope, not necessary.
Do I hear a
Okay.
second?
Second.
Seconded by Augustine. Any further discussion? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
That's unanimous. Thank you.
And I already talked to Chair Marzullo, and he is available. He's marking his calendar to join us
Great.
for that evening
Very
to
good.
discuss these.
Thank you much. Thanks for your work on that.
I figured you might approve that, so I reached out to Matt ahead of time, and
We keep moving, keep them all rolling.
yes,
They
and
work very diligently on that language.
there's been a lot of time and a lot of discussion in language, especially different components of that language. And we also have just an update to the facilities rental agreement. And Chris Medwood's been working on that, and she was going to reach out to the department heads as well, just to kind of explain some of that to them. So this is just for your information, just for your review.
Very good. Thank you.
Thank you.
Anything else?
That's it.
Trustee Augustine.
Okay. You guys approved the Kimball letter. It should be in front of you.
Yep, we saw it.
We will sign this blank sheet of paper so that they can incorporate our signatures into the letter for the mailing. We will go ahead and do it in color, and I hope you each have a copy of it in color. We did that last year so that the Hinckley flag was red and blue and white and black, and it is more official. So we changed some of the language to mimic those colors, things that are of our importance, obviously. And we have a quote here from Angel Printing, who is exactly who we used last year. And at this time, I'd like to make a motion to use Angel Printing and Reproduction, Inc. for the opt-out letter as it pertains to the Kimball opt-out, including postage, for a total of $1,277.11.
Here, a second.
I'll second.
I have a question. Why is there 10,202 pages? Stuffers? And quantity ordered.
Quantity ordered secondary to the fact that it includes the opt-out letter or opt-out form,
Very
the
good.
letter and the form.
Thank you.
Thank you. And don't let me forget, you guys have to sign these with me later.
So moved and seconded. Any further discussion?
No.
So the actual, I'm sorry, Melissa, just because there was some hiccups last year. So the actual printing is going to be like $443, correct? This includes the $833.86 postage permit stamp that's on the back
Yes,
of
this
it.
includes everything.
This includes everything. All right.
I did see that printing quote somewhere, but I don't know if it's in our package
Yeah,
tonight.
I'm not seeing the
It's on
print,
the, yeah, there's no, I don't see a printing code. I just see that.
but
I saw it. I think I saw it with Chris Medwood. this
Chris Medwood's
afternoon.
been working on this, and she made sure to actually call back secondary to our issue with postage last year.
That's what I saw last.
And
I
that's
saw
why
it today.
we made sure that it was an all-inclusive quote this year.
Okay, so,
If you want that separated, I believe Chris does have those numbers.
no, I just want you guys to authorize releasing the postage portion of this prior to, that it'll be a two-part billing. We're gonna send them the $833.86 up front. And then when the mailing's completed, then we'll pay them the balance. You follow me? That
Yes.
was the issue last year.
So what is you said it's $886.
It's on the back of this.
On the back.
It's right there.
I think you have something we don't have.
Yeah, I don't see.
Maybe
what
I have
you
it.
Isn't it back there? Oh, I'm sorry, I pulled the wrong sheet. It's right behind your other sheet.
I don't know that I have that sheet. I don't think I have that sheet.
You don't have.
Yep, there it is.
Okay, so
There it is.
I will amend the
Found it. Thank
motion to include $833.86 with the first payment with the balance remaining after for the postage.
Okay, that way I can get
I'll
them.
second the amended motion.
Thank you.
And when are you mailing this?
This is gonna go out as soon as it's printed here at the beginning of September.
Okay,
I
so
was-
if we
I
send
was-
them the money for the permit next meeting.
I was told that it'll be going out after September 16th, so be looking for it then. It came from,
That's all right. I just want to make sure there's a
It'll be
meeting.
September. I thought we had discussion if we were gonna do it before Chris's vacation or after, and her vacation has since changed. So we'll just say September and I'll bring more
very good.
Well, you
details.
definitely have to make sure she's here.
We will have,
Yes, you
we
will
will
need
have
to
a
be
meeting
here.
between here and then, and if we need to
I
update
will
on the 7th, we can.
clarify
Very good.
dates.
Thank you.
Thank you. And did we do a roll call vote for that?
You just made a motion.
Well, if we didn't,
Alina
all
seconded.
all in favor, say aye.
Aye.
That motion's passed. Thank you.
Thank you. I'd like to amend the motion from at the last meeting, which was August 3rd. We made a motion for the OTA website class, how to better organize your website to communicate more effectively. And we had talked specifically about Jen Auburn and Chris Medwood taking that class. Chris Medwood is not able to attend, and therefore Suzanne Peterlin will be attending. Because she is an OTA member, her fee is $25 versus $30 that Jen paid. So I'd like to go ahead and amend that. Oh, sorry, $20.
Yes, 20.
Okay.
So amended.
I'd like to go ahead and, I'd like to go ahead and amend that motion to the amount of $50. The original was $60.
Okay. So here a second.
Second?
Seconded. Any further discussion?
No.
Thank you. All in favor, say aye.
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 Thank you for
Aye.
that.
That's unanimous. Thank you.
And, you know what? I don't know that we have the documents for this in front of us. I thought they were.
Here it is.
Go
I have
Daddy.
it.
Brian Latko, go Daddy.
You have it and I don't have
Take
it.
that
Everyone has it but me. Okay.
That's okay. Take it.
So at this time, I'd like to make a motion. This is reimbursement to Brian Lacko. He runs all of our website information, and we had a situation where the renewal of the fire department website was up and it automatically went onto his credit card. So we're going to make a motion now to reimburse him. So at this time, I'd like to make a motion to reimburse Brian Lacko for the domain name for GoDaddy for hinkleyfire.us and the total amount of $99.95.
I'll second that motion, especially since he works for free.
Seconded. I have a question.
This is your paperback.
Melissa, is that a 1 year or sometimes?
It's a 5 year.
Yeah, sometimes they're multiple years.
5
That makes sense. Good. Motion seconded. Any further discussion? All in favor, say aye. Aye. That's unanimous. Thank you.
You hate to have to actually pay for your volunteer job, right?
I do have two other quick things. We will be sending out an email. Chris Medwood has been working diligently with me on the trash here in Hinckley, and she will be sending out an email with regard to exemption applications and affidavits. So if you have a current exemption application from 2021, she's going to be just sending a quick reminder that it is an annual, and she will include the form for you to just go ahead and fill out and mail back in.
Great.
So I wanted to give you that information. And then do you want me to touch on the opioid?
Yeah, go ahead. Why not? Be a good time.
So we have here, and bear with me, I'm reading Martha's email as we talk. Martha prepared this with you as the primary, Jim. So if we're all in favor, we can keep that way. Are we in favor to keep Jim as the primary for the opioid?
Yes.
Okay.
Okay.
So the estimated receipt is 70% settlement, which is $23,311.64. And if we get 100% settlement, it will be $33,302.35. And at this time, I'd like to, you want me to do a resolution, Martha?
No, it's okay. That you've already done the resolution. It's just the motion language proceeding.
Okay, so we'd like to make a motion to submit the application for the opioid. What would we call it? Ohio and opioid settlement.
There we go.
With Jim Burns as a primary contact.
I can't second it.
I'll second that.
Seconded by Kalina.
Any other discussions?
No.
Okay,
That's all I have.
and we do not know yet how we can spend this specifically.
It's going to be federal guidelines. We have to make sure that 95% of Ohio is
Yeah,
in
I was
favor.
gonna say,
That's
as
fine.
of Monday, it hasn't reached that threshold.
Very good. Thank you very much. We got a second. Was that a resolution? Public-
Motion? Who's motion?
Okay, all in favor, say aye.
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 That's unanimous. Thank you.
Thank you. That's all I have.
Thank you, Trustee Augustine. Okay.
You didn't read about that in the paper. It is interesting that our prosecutor, Forrest Thompson, pulled all the townships together and got 100% of the townships that were there. So that was impressive.
It was impressive.
Adding to that, to be brief, talk to the trustees about how that was a strategic move by our prosecutor's office. It was really kind of smart on what they did and why they did it. But rather than tying up time here, you can catch us offline and find out why was that a good strategic move. Moving on. Septic tank is flowing now. Engineers and technicians have signed off. EPA has signed off. And so that tank is now flushable.
Literally flowing.
It's flowing and flushable.
Our police chief tells me all the time how he can hear the rumbling.
Oh, come on. It's on a timer. We turn it off every time he comes in the office. It's actually a motion sensor in his office. When he comes in the
I'll
office,
have
it
to
turns
let
off.
him know.
Yeah, moving on. We several months ago, we entered into an aggregation agreement with the Medina County engineers to paint stripe townships in Hinckley. We chose 3 roads for centerline striping and some stop bars. That bid tab came in. The lowest and best bidder was American Roadway Logistics. So when the time is right, when they get into our area, they will be striping 3 of our roads for a sum of approximately, it's on the last page, guys, last 2 pages, last page.
Okay.
So
There's a
you're,
bid tab.
you're gonna make a resolution to hire for an amount not to exceed.
So I'm going to make a resolution to hire American Roadway Logistics, thank you, to pave Bellis, or not pave, Centerline Mark and Stop Bar, Bellis Road, Babcock Road, and Parker Road, on an amount not to exceed $2,500. And that's based on the mileage that we had, the service department had estimated and the costs that you're seeing on those sheets.
Would you give me those roads one more time in case I get a phone call?
Bellis Road, Babcock Road, Parker Road, Centerline, and Stop Bar.
Thank you.
So I have a resolution standing out there,
Second.
seconded by Kalina. Any further discussion, trustees? All in favor, so we got to have a roll call, please. Thank you.
Kalina?
Yes.
Augustine?
Yes.
Burns?
Yes.
So, back in, I think it was November.
That's what I remember.
Mike, so the price then was 6,000 approximately. Was that primarily those edge lines on Laurel then?
No, I think that was using pricing from the company like Aeromark.
Well, I think it was 20 cents a foot. 20 cents a foot.
That may have included the Laurel Road edge lines.
Okay, that's what I'm thinking, because
Yeah.
it's a pretty significant
Well,
departure.
we actually expected that significant departure because of the aggregation.
Okay, I'm just making sure
Yeah.
that this is a number that sounds
Mike, let me pass this paper.
Never only doing one stretch, the more they do, the cheaper it gets.
I know, but I'm not saying, you might want to verify that and then just check, because that sounds pretty cheap for 3 roads that long. So I would just verify that, but you can always amend it, like Jim and I.
So we've got a resolution on the table. It's been seconded.
Yes.
Mike's going to verify, so let's go ahead and make that motion amended pending verification of the approximation of the $2,500 being sufficient.
I'll second the amendment.
Second, any further discussion?
No.
Okay, Martha?
Yep,
Can I have a roll call,
Kalina?
please?
Yes.
Augustine,
Yes.
Burns, we already did that already.
Thank
No,
you.
we just amended it.
I
you
amended it just in case he
What'd
comes
you
up.
amend it to? I'm sorry.
2,500, but it's pending that actually being a valid number. We could get billed for like, if we estimated 1.1 miles and it's 1.4 miles that they actually did, we're going to see something higher. I think I have enough buffer in there with the 2,500 to cover that. Mr. Bahari will find out in a few minutes here. Bring you up to date with the Bethany Road reconstruction. Lewis Land finally finished their engineering and bid documents. We've sent them to the prosecutor's office. That's where they are sitting now.
Great.
When that comes back, we may hold a special meeting, trustees, because we're getting late in the season.
Yes.
That special meeting will be to motion to put this out for bid. And so
We'll on the move.
yeah, definitely. So be looking for that. I suspect
Thank
we
you.
will be having a special meeting. Annually, the Lutheran Cemetery here in town has to provide us with their fund status. And presently, they're, as of December 31st, 2020, their fund status is $155,571.33. And for that purpose is when and if they want to turn this cemetery over to us for any reason, we have those assets to continue running that cemetery. Any
Very good.
comments or questions on that?
Thank you.
Medina County Fiber Network, please take out your colored paper here. This was a late entry by Brian Richter. Because if we can resolve this tonight, I can continue moving forward.
Okay.
Got it?
Yeah.
So Mr. Richter made 2 or 3 red sidebar revisions to this right of entry into premises. So if you remember, we had an agreement. Mr. Richter had concerns about, well, they're going to be digging up your property, punching holes in through walls, and how are they going to make sure, how are you guys going to make sure they restore to what they found before or something similar, standard construction practices. So this right of reentry was the solution to that. He said he's willing to sign off on this if we were willing to make these amendments to that he has suggested on our right-hand column. One is he's looking for a legal description in that one section. This is involving 3 parcels, actually. This corner is actually made up of 4 parcels, but 3 of them are involved. So I will put that legal description in there from the Medina County Recorder's Office, if that's okay with the trustees, and then I'll send that off. The other one was deleting what you see there in his comments upon 24 hours notice to owner and occupants and during normal business hours. He amended it differently. Okay,
Yes.
and then on the next page, he deleted something there. I think it was just maybe in a space, like a typo.
Okay.
Would you agree if that was just by a state space that was removed? This page here.
Looks like it. It was just a permanent parcel number.
Okay,
So
go ahead, yeah.
I saw that. I'm just reading the document.
Please do. This was put out on Matrix Civil, so you guys all have access to all these documents. You should have gotten an email even saying that this message was out there for us.
looks like good protections.
I agree. And they're small, they're not massive.
Right.
That last page, I didn't say that. This last page was just more clarification that Mr. Richter brought up, saying, can you clarify more what they're doing, where they're entering, how they're entering? Are they going through the concrete? Are they going overhead? Are they
Right.
punching through a wall? So that's what this does on this page. Picture.
Very good.
So that should answer all the questions. So his suggestion to us, and you can read on Matrix Civil, was to send this to Medina Fiber, get their sign off, then it'll come back. He'll sign all the documents, and then we can move forward to us signing and moving on.
Very
Because
good.
right now, he was at the position where he wouldn't sign this until this was done.
Okay.
Mr. Richter wouldn't. Okay.
Well, I know, I will just say that I know I would go as far as to say you've probably done a more thorough job than any other township official has regarding this, because
I kind of, yes, I did, because I called several times saying, what, there was a contract? Huh? So a lot of people just.
no, I know you've put a
It just happened.
tremendous amount of time and
Right.
effort into this, into ensuring that the township was taking the appropriate direction and had the appropriate securities with allowing this partnership to take place on our property and help expand services to the residents, which a lot of them are looking forward to a little bit of competition
Right.
here in the township. And so my compliments to you, because I know you spent a lot of time working on this, Jim, and you've been very thoughtful, diligent about it.
Thank you very much. It's a group effort, though, always is. Because without your approvals, we're not going anywhere. Right? Okay. Last thing, there's going to be an official ribbon cutting for the Kodak #1 field LED lights. on August 20th. Regrettably, we have a tropical storm coming our way. So the baseball fields are looking like they're going to get washed out. We won't know until Thursday. The game's at 8 p.m. I'm kind of leaning towards we'll probably be rescheduling, but feel free to come out. If it looks like we've had 2 days of dry weather, they might get it running. But right now, they're kind of leaning towards it's not happening. We will reschedule it, notify. Maybe we'll put something on the marquee.
May I go back to the cable? Are you going to move forward or do anything with that tonight?
I would like to. Yeah, we do need an agreement. You want me to motion for the agreement?
Well, I think you need a resolution to enter into an agreement with.
Well, I thought we were going to send it to Medina Farmer and make sure they're okay
That's
with
where
Mr.
Brian Victor
Richter's
said,
changes.
Okay, so you're not-
they have to say, yeah, we agree to this. Yeah, I think we need one more meeting.
Okay, just check it.
Thank you very much. Good catch, though.
Just wondering.
Better to call us out before it's too late. All right, that's it. I don't think I have anything else.
We did get a letter from Mr. Pearl. Did you want me to read that?
Well, I was going to do that during the public comments and questions.
Oh,
Go right
okay.
ahead. Go for it. Go ahead.
Mr. Pearl sent us a couple different emails today. And Mr. Pearl, if you're on, I hope you can hear me loud and clear. And I'm going through the email that you sent specific to the virtual meeting, and we will be working diligently to make sure that we address your concerns. I think you've done a very nice job of communicating with us what is lacking, what we need to improve on. So thank you for that.
What's different for you?
He requested that we read these comments out loud tonight.
It's 20 cents.
The service department mowed the ditch on King Road recently
That's just for
with their new
yourself.
utility mower. They did outstanding work, returning once or twice to clean up the ditch right to the bottom and mowing close to the signposts. They're carefully respecting my landscape from the bottom
You know
of the
what?
ditch
Just
up
make it
onto my property. They did the same on the opposing property on the other side of King Road and mowed from the bottom of the ditch.
Melissa, I'm sorry to interrupt, but with Jim and Martha and Mike
My
talking
apologies.
right by the microphone, we can't hear you very well.
Thank you, John.
Go back a paragraph or two. I'm sorry.
They did the same at the opposing property on the other side of King Road and mowed from the bottom of the ditch to the farmer's fence without touching it. No cuts left in the road. Beautiful work. I also want to comment on how well the service department reconfigured the culvert under King Road a few months ago where it meets Bellis Road. King Road Hill is 6% grade, draining almost 900 feet of road. The recent downpour sent a lot of water downhill to Bellis Road with no undermining, clogging, or overflowing onto the intersection whatsoever. Hats off to our service department, our Superintendent Mike Pari and his team. King Road was resurfaced several years ago and is still in excellent condition, including the center line striping. And I would be remiss if I did not comment on how well our service department liaison, Jim Burns, has stayed focused on rebuilding our roads. Some residents are still patiently waiting on the road work and it will come, but we appreciate Jim Burns working with fiscal officer Martha Catherwood and keeping us within budget. And that's from Mr. Pearl.
Thank you, Mr. Pearl, for your kind words and thoughts are always welcome. We don't always hear the kind words, but again, thank you very much. And Jen, thank you very much for speaking up. That's what I'd like you to do. If you're having problems out there in the virtual world, we want to hear about it before it's too late. So again, step in anytime you feel it's necessary.
Thank you, Jen.
And with that, we're going to move to Fiscal Officer Catherwood.
Okay, so, application was made on behalf of the township for American Rescue Plan tax dollars. And so that was approved. So the 2021 tranche will be $422,000, $422,618.50, and about the same for 2022. So the first thing that I'm requesting the trustees do is establish a local fiscal recovery fund, 2273. That's the first resolution. The second resolution is a request to amend the township certificate of amended resources. And I'm going to send that to the Medina County auditor in order to allow for the grant funding. So Jim?
I'm actually going to pass this off to Trustee Augustine.
All right.
Lead on this.
Okay. At this time, I'd like to make a motion to adopt resolution 081721-0, which establishes a local fiscal recovery fund 2273 for the purpose of receiving American Rescue Plan Act coronavirus local fiscal recovery funds for Ohio non-entitlement units of local government grant monies.
Second.
Move to second. Any further discussion?
No.
Kalina?
Yes.
Augustine?
Yes.
Burns?
Yes. Thank you very much. That's passed.
And let's just follow up with the other resolution. I'd like to make a motion to adopt resolution 081721-0 to submit a request to amend the Hinckley Township Certificate of Estimated Resources to Medina County Auditor for the purpose of receiving American Rescue Plan Act coronavirus local fiscal recovery funds for Ohio non-entitlement units of local government grant monies in the amount of $422,618.15. Upon receipt of the amended certificate of estimated resources, the revenue and appropriation budgets will be amended to reflect the grant monies.
Second.
Seconded by Kalina. Any further discussion? Roll call, please.
Kalina?
Yes.
Augustine?
Yes.
Burns?
Yes.
Let's see, fund status is currently at, on that piece of paper, $6,520,956.79, of which $1,063,676.26 are in pooled investments, and $5,457,280.53 are in primary checking.
Thank you very much. All right, at this time I'd like to open the floor to the public here in the town hall for comments. If you are going to speak, please step up to the podium, state your name, your address, and discuss whatever you'd like with the.
Trustee Burns, do we also need a motion to adopt the resolution approving the purchase order listings?
Yeah, there's that and then the bills. But did you want to do public comment first? You can do it any which way.
I think in the future, we're going to flip this because it makes sense to keep the cash flowing for me. I talked to Mark once before. It really doesn't matter. I was going to open up the floor. Do you want me to make the payment to the bills? Motion to pay the bills for $25,214.87.
Second.
Seconded by both trustees.
Aye.
Kalina seconds it. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Very good. Thank you very much. Ms. Catherwood, that has been motion, Kalina seconded it, and we approved payment of the bills and payroll.
Everything.
But Clean and Augustine are going to thumb wrestle over the second.
Thank you.
They were at a tie when they seconded.
So-
Appreciate your enthusiasm, both of you.
So, I'm sorry, you did the purchase order?
I did not do the purchase order.
Okay, I'm sorry, because as I say, that's a
That's the part
resolution.
that I'm looking for.
Okay,
Is it here? It is.
yep.
I'd like to make a motion to adopt resolution 081721-05, approving the purchase order listing as follows. Blanket super blanket certificate 73-74-2021. Purchase order 676869-2021 for the amounts and to the vendors as submitted.
Flip over. There you go.
Shall I read them?
No. You guys just have to know it. Because the auditor wants you to review it diligently.
Good.
Seconded by
Augustine.
Augustine. Thank you. Any further discussion, trustees?
No.
Well, yeah, all in favor, say aye.
Well, it's a resolution,
Oh, sorry.
so
Yeah.
Kalina,
Yes.
Augustine,
Yes.
Burns.
Yes. Thank you. So we've approved the payroll and bills while you were off camera there.
Okay.
We're good. So now we can open the floor up to the public if they so choose to step forward. Nobody?
I do have one now.
Go ahead. Can you read them? I'm sure.
This is from Nikki Nupp. She said, good evening, trustees. I will not be able to make it tonight in person, so I'm hoping you could address a question that I didn't see on the agenda. Can you provide an update on the citizen committee? I think that we were discussing that as it pertains to
That was
the comprehensive
correct.
plan and the OHM. Do you have anything further to add to that? I have a list.
Yes, I know.
People are interested in.
I don't know what the requirements yet are of this grant opportunity, so I don't want to move things too much forward.
We're on it a little bit, yeah.
That's fine.
Yeah,
I just wanted to address the question. I do have an ongoing list and she is a part of it. So if anyone else wants to be a part of the list, feel free to send me an email.
Thank you very much. I have one more order of business. We need to go back up, which should be quick. So we made a motion to hire this American Logistics. I'm looking for the,
On the bid,
yeah, we're gonna increase the amount. Once I
American
find it.
Roadway.
Roadway Logistics. So I'd like to amend, should I rescind or amend or just,
How about we-
Martha, what do you want? Rescind?
No, you can amend. It'll
I'd like
be.
to amend the previous motion regarding hiring American Roadway Logistics to center line stripe and stop line stripe our 3 roads in the township, increasing the amount not to exceed $5,000.
Second.
Seconded. Any further discussion?
No.
We're going to clarify no or not. That's why we're doing that. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye. That's passed. Thank you. You please step to the podium, name, address.
I don't want to do that.
You have to.
Oh.
Board won't recognize. Thank
There
you.
you go. Debbie Thomas Ward, 2030 Mattingly Road.
Thank you.
Trying to find out what we need to do about drones flying, personal drones flying, and that on people's properties when they're just humming around and just hanging around. And that, are we allowed to shoot them down? Do we have to use a sky net? How do we get them down, or how do we do what?
This is, well, we can touch base about it before the
Right.
meeting. It is a police issue. There is a
Right.
Ohio revised code as it pertains to drones. Can you shoot it down if it's, as long as it's not registered with an FAA, which means it would have to have an FAA pilot who's registered as well. I don't, I wouldn't recommend shooting it down by a kid, in my opinion, but certainly call the police immediately. They have the
Right.
Ohio revised code to follow as it pertains to drones.
Right. And then I know,
Feel free to call the police department tomorrow and ask.
well, I did. I stopped in.
I don't believe you're allowed to shoot them down. but-
And that, technically, I'm not supposed to shoot them down, but if they happen to come down, oh, well, and
Codes
that.
happen to be
Right.
nearby.
Right.
I like
I do know that they
that.
have trained
What does?
buzzers to take them down.
There you go, and that. But, they have a shell that's basically a net, and that. Are we allowed to use those to bring them down?
I'm not going to go there. I think that it's best to talk to the police department, but I'm kind of confident that you're not allowed to shoot them down.
So they're allowed to come out and look through our windows and do what they're doing?
You're
Altitude
not
above
allowed
it.
to do that. They
No.
have to be very cognitive of their privacy levels of their neighbors.
Okay,
So,
Well,
like I said, it's outlined in the Ohio revised code. I don't have the number in
Okay.
front of me. But
Okay.
I can research it and talk
Okay.
to Chief Setner about it.
right.
You want to talk to me afterwards? and give
Correct.
progress?
Correct, and that, because I know it was hovering in my backyard for a good 5 minutes, and then it moved to the side where I was sitting, and it was only 15 feet away from me and 10 feet high, and it hovered for a
I
good
would have
5,
started
10
watering
minutes.
the garden right then.
Well, it's 7:30. Yeah, 7:30 in the morning. I wasn't even
There is
thinking.
an altitude minimum that they have to stay at, so that drone is probably violating your personal space.
Right.
You can talk to the police department for the rules.
Then I can shoot it.
You do not need to get yourself in trouble for doing the right
I can
thing,
shoot it,
okay?
and that. I like slingshot.
It's your business.
Right, I can take
I'm sorry
a
you're going
slingshot.
through that. Drones can be a great tool, but they can also
Slingshot.
be a great nuisance.
Yeah, I like it, in that. I think that would be cool. But, they did tell me to take a picture of it and call them right away and that. But, at 7:30 in the morning, I was not thinking about carrying my cell phone. I wasn't expecting it, actually, and that. And then my neighbors across the street said they were actually at their house and they were checking out all the windows and that. So,
Yeah, that is not allowed.
Yeah.
And
and that.
we will actively work to keep
Right.
your privacy as such.
I did hear that 4 people, at least on Mattingly Road, saw this and came into their properties and that. And I did hear that one other person did call the police and filed the thing on them
Okay.
and that. But people need to know, to call.
My guess is it might be a neighbor further down, and you might want to start spreading the rumor up and down the streets, and we're watching you.
Right, and that. Yeah, and
You
that.
can end up getting yourself in trouble, so.
Right, and that. Because I know when it went up and over the trees, it was gone and it wasn't one of my neighbors because I already checked with everybody within a 5-house radius and that. So, and nobody knew
Sorry
nothing.
you haven't experienced that.
And that, well, they might see something they don't want to see one day. And that,
Before the rocket.
Yeah, before that. Yes, exactly,
I was thinking the same thing, Debbie.
I don't, you come looking at my windows, you might see anything, out of it. Or walking in my yard, you could see anything
Well, I
at the time.
understand how it can all be disturbing.
Yes, at 7:30 in the morning, yes, very much. And that,
Thank you for bringing it to our
Thanks.
attention.
thank you.
Good
Thank
luck.
you.
I'm kind of curious, let us know what you find out, please. If there's nothing else from the
Oh.
audience,
Hold on,
We have
Late
some
edition.
we
quotes.
got 3 quotes.
We got 3 quotes. Valley Chevrolet for the same Colorado, $34,745. And Vanderveer Chevrolet, $31,660.
So you're still better with the,
I'm still cheaper with the Serpentini and Medina. Yep.
So I think you can move forward with the resolution to purchase.
if it grows and ball, you can start it out. She'll just go so moved.
I'd like to make a resolution, right?
Mm-hmm.
Resolution to purchase a 2021 Chevy Colorado work truck from Serpentini Chevrolet out of Medina. Should I do not to exceed to cover any?
And include the trade-in.
The trade-in for it is $11,000, and the current truck price is $30,445 for a total of. So I'd like to not exceed $20,000.
Please describe the truck briefly. Full cab,
If
4x4.
4x4, full cab, 5.5 foot bed, work truck, has power windows, power doors, air conditioning, tow package.
Show package, good.
Yep.
That's what I wanted to hear.
Yep,
Thank
yep.
you.
So the purchase price is the 30,000.
$30,445.
Okay, so that, why don't you say amount not to exceed 31,000 because the trade-in is.
Yeah, okay, that's fine. Not to exceed $31,000.
So moved.
Thank you, Martha. I
Yeah, that's all
didn't,
we needed.
That's a great price.
yes, it is.
Good job.
Yep.
Okay, I'll second that.
Moved and seconded. Any further questions, discussion?
No.
You just need to make sure you're doing your due diligence in the pricing.
You got your notes, Martha?
Yep.
We need a roll call.
And it's.
Kalina?
Fire department.
Yes.
Augustine?
Yes.
Burns?
Yes.
Jim. Thank you.
Let's talk about the truck.
Come on.
Is your wife gonna be okay with that, like sitting in the driveway?
Yes.
All right, I just wanna make sure.
Well,
We gotta
they
keep her happy.
made fun of me because they said the SUV was a police car. My nephew would always say the police car. So, yeah.
Do we have any more business from the chief, superintendent, trustees,
No.
audience? I'd like to entertain a motion. Yeah, we should do a roll call
Okay.
resolution. So you're authorized to go purchase that. Thank you. I'd like to entertain a motion to adjourn this meeting at 7:43 PM.
Second.
Seconded, all in favor, say aye. Aye. Adjourned.
That way, if there was any change
Yeah.
in
Yeah.
trade-in
Well done.
price.
Yeah.
Yep.
I have a feeling you had it coming now.
Thank you. That's wonderful.
Yeah.
You get a